What up, guys? GangstaPranksta bringing you the weekly wrestling review for February 9th and I believe the 18th. Welcome, or the 16th. Welcome back. If you're new to the show, this is where we talk everything about professional wrestling, from news, reviews to predictions. We talk about it all. So if you're a fan of professional wrestling, welcome to the show. On today's show, we got reviews for 2 weeks of RAW, Smackdown, Impact, NXT, Ring of Honor, and Smackdown, along with Elimination Chamber predictions and some wrestling news. The reason I didn't put this out sooner is, like the previous week, there was really nothing to talk about, so I'm like, you know what, I'll just double up the next week. So, yeah, here we are. So let's go through RAW, like, from 2 weeks ago or whatever. Again, nothing really major happened, except, you know, you had Miz come out, from Miz TV. His guest was Paul Heyman. You know, yada, a bunch of stuff. It ends with Lesnar coming out and attacking, The Miz. That was pretty cool. You had Randy Orton versus Wade Barrett for, like, the 17th time on Raw. You know, someone made a comment, not on my video, I was just reading some stuff, and, like, it's true, Randy Orton and Wade Barrett. If it's not Wade Barrett, it's Antonio Cesaro. And, like, they're facing each other, like, every week, and it's fucking ridiculous. I haven't noticed that, but that's something I picked up on. Like, Randy Orton, Wade Barrett for, like, the 18th time. We had Chris Jericho versus CM Punk. You know, people get to pick if Punk will face Jericho, Orton, or Mysterio. The fans picked Jericho. They had a good match. That was probably the best thing on the show. WWE announced their next Hall of Famer, Bruno Sammartino. That is huge. Just if you know all the backstory between, like, why Bruno didn't want to be in the WWE Hall of Fame and now he's in it. It's really cool, and I've listened to some interviews with Bruno, and I really like him. He's a really smart individual, and just I'm a huge fan of Bruno Sammartino. He has a great story, you know, coming up in World War II, basically, you know, living in Italy and what that was like, and then, you know, he escaped to America with his family, and I believe, like, his mom was killed or she died from some disease. So he has a really good story, and I'm really happy to see him in the WWE Hall of Fame. So that's really cool. And to end this show, it was Brad Maddox comes out and calls out the Shield. They come up, beat him up, and Cena and Sheamus and Ryback make the save. Next on NXT, we just had more continuation of the NXT title tournament. We will talk about the winner of that in about a few minutes, so hold on to that. So this show was just whatever. Next we got Impact. You know, Impact continuing to come from the UK. These have actually been a decent, like, the past couple of shows have been pretty good to, like, really good. So really cool shows coming out of the UK. What else? We got the Aces and Eights come out. They induct Garrett Bischoff and Wes Briscoe. They talk about why they joined, yada yada. You had RVD, Kenny King, and Zema on in a three-way for the X Division title. This was a pretty good match. I enjoyed this. What else? We had Austin Aries and Robert Roode taking on Hernandez and Chavo for the tag team titles. This was a good match. And Aries and Roode win and are the new TNA tag team champions. Just whenever I look at them, I just look at them as TNA's version of Team Hell No. And I don't want to say they're better. Because, I don't know, I really like Team Hell No, but I really like Aries and Roode, but it seems so second-rate of a knockoff, so. And then we'll talk about something I didn't like that they did on the next Impact. What else? We had Jeremy Borash bring out Rockstar Spud. Spud won the TNA British Boot Camp, and he's really short. He's got to be like a midget wrestler. Like, he's pretty close. I think he just made the height acceptance. So he came out. He had a little thing with Robbie E. Rob Terry pretty much turned on Robbie E. I hope this isn't permanent. You know, maybe just with Rob Terry being in the UK, and, you know, they were going against Rockstar Spud, who is also UK. I hope this isn't permanent because I really like Robbie E and Rob Terry together. I wish they would get more of a tag team push, because they're really entertaining. They're all right in the ring, and I just love to see more of them doing tag team stuff. So, And the main event of this was Sting and Bully Ray versus Devon and Doc, and a tables match was pretty good. Bully and Sting win. Next, on the Raw, Mark Henry made his return. Cool. That was about it. So he was a big part of SmackDown this week, or 2 weeks ago, whatever. He took on Randy Orton. That was a pretty good match. And just the trend of Orton taking on Mark Henry, he took him on the SmackDown next week as well. So we'll talk about that in a second. Yeah, that was pretty much the only thing to talk about. Randy Orton versus Mark Henry, pretty good match. Ring of Honor, they had a gauntlet match to determine the tag team #1 contenders. There was a good match between the American Wolves, Bravado Brothers, Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly, and Scum in a gauntlet match. That was good. Michael Elgin versus Mike Bennett, that was pretty good as well. Roderick Strong and Grizzly Redwood, that was pretty good as well. And Antonio Thomas versus Tadarius Thomas was pretty good as well. This was actually a pretty good episode of Ring of Honor. I enjoyed all the matches and all the segments. It was good. So next we're going to be talking about the Raw that happened last week. This was the one before Elimination Chamber. It starts out with Paul Heyman coming, so he's going to quit WWE. Punk says he needs him, so Heyman decides not to quit. We had Chris Jericho versus Daniel Bryan in a good match. Jericho won that match. One of the highlights of the program was what's his name? Jack Swagger taking on Zack Ryder. That was not a highlight, but who Jack Swagger was with, Zeb Coulter. And after the match, they talk about, you know, being Americans and immigrants and stuff like that. I enjoy this a lot because Jack Swagger is just one of those people that needs someone there for him. Like when he had Vicky, that was like probably his top, like when he was really good. So Zeb Coulter, great talker, also known as Dutch Mantel, former TNA. What are you doing? Did he hire people or he wrote the show? I don't remember which one. But you know, this is a good gimmick. It's going to actually lead into my predictions for Elimination Chamber, where I think Swagger's going to win and then take on Del Rio. And then it's just going to build up this whole America, you know, being American and America. So that's pretty cool. I'm a big fan of Zeb Coulter and the pairing of him and Jack Swagger. So that is cool. What else? Oh, we had Cody Rhodes and Miz. Pretty good match, whatever. No one wins after Cesaro attacks Miz. And that giant swing move that Cesaro does, where he grabs the legs and then he just swings the guy and then tosses him. He fucking did that with Miz, but into the barricade. He would swing to the right and then smash him into the left. Swing to the right, smash him into the left. That's pretty cool. I enjoyed that. That was awesome. Next, we got Brodus Clay and Tenzai teaming up to take on Epco and Primo. So I guess they're turning Tenzai heel, or face, I mean, and teaming up with Brodus. Like I said, I don't know. Like, I really don't know how I feel. I feel like Tenzai should be the big monster. But, I don't know, this is kind of the same way I felt when Brodus debuted as the Funkasaurus. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, he should be a monster. But, you know, as the months passed on, I'm like, oh, yeah, whatever. As the Funkasaurus, whatever, do your thing. So, Tenzai is just whatever. I would like to see them do, like, bring in Scotty 2 Hotty for, like, a backstage segment. So, like, Scotty, like, you have Brodus, like, Tenzai can't really dance. It's like he dances with 2 left feet. And then you're like, you know, I don't know if they're going to change his name to Albert or whatever, keep him Tenzai. I was like, you know, Tenzai, remember when you used to be with Scotty and you were the big hip-hop hippo, I believe his name was? And, you know, bring in Scotty for some backstage segments. And then I would like to see Brodus Clay, Tenzai. I would like to see Santino Marella, but since he's injured, have Scotty, and then they take on the 3-man band. Make that a pre-show match at WrestleMania. I think that would be a pretty good match. That's just my opinion. What else happened on the show? We had Just a couple other matches, nothing really spectacular to talk about. It ends with The Rock comes out. He tells stories about when he used to live in Nashville. CM Punk comes out, they brawl, and Punk takes the WWE title from The Rock. Next we got NXT. This was actually a good episode of NXT, and I'm going to go through and then talk about why I enjoyed it. So it starts with Michael Dalton versus Axel Keegan. The match never happened after Paige comes out and chases Summer Rae away. The little announcer that they're building a feud between. And then you have Dusty Rhodes come out and tell her to get out, and Summer comes out, and then there's a brawl and blah blah blah. This leads to a match later. I like this because the Divas don't really get the focus of the show, and then to have Paige come out and just pretty much push the guys out of the way, literally, and say, hey, get out of the ring, I have an issue, and I want to take care of it. I thought that was pretty cool, that they gave the Divas the spotlight. So, it looks like they're going to be doing good things with Paige. I can't wait for her to debut on the main roster, especially with all these huge releases of talent. You know, the Bella Twins, Beth Phoenix, Kelly, Eve, probably missing a couple others. The Divas division is lacking, and I think Paige would just be perfect. You know, have her like Biggie Langston. You know, make him appear on NXT and WWE, and I think it'd work out fine. So, that was cool. I was a big fan of that. Next, we got Corey Graves versus Alex Riley. This was a pretty good match. Corey ends up taking that victory. Next, we got Summer Rae taking on Paige. Okay match. Summer wins. And the main event was the finals of the NXT Tag Team Title Tournament, where the Wyatt family taking on Oliver Gray and Adrian Neville. Good match. Adrian and Oliver win and are the first NXT Tag Team Champions. It was a good match. Overall, this was a good episode of NXT. I really recommend checking it out. Good hour of... the only thing I could complain is the whole Secret Admirer thing with... I think Sasha Banks is her name. Other than that, everything else was pretty good. Go check out this episode of NXT. I enjoyed it. Next, we got Impact. Another episode from the UK. It starts out with Hogan announcing that there's going to be a bunch of matches, and then he's going to pick the winners of those matches. He's going to pick one of them to face Jeff Hardy at Lockdown, and announces that there will be a Team TNA versus Team Aces and Eights at Lockdown. It's probably going to be a lethal Lockdown match. So one of the matches that Hogan was talking about was Magnus versus Christopher Daniels. Pretty good match. Magnus wins. Next, we got Samoa Joe versus Kurt Angle. Pretty good match. No one wins after Wes Briscoe and Garrett Bischoff interfere. The other participants of the British Boot Camp, Party Marty and the Blossom Twins versus Gail, Kim, Tara, and Jesse. Pretty good match. Gail, Tara, and Jesse win. There was a spot in this match, like the first couple moves in this match. So, you do the drop down, you know, run back and forth. And then you have Party Marty snapmare Jesse, and it looks like he's gonna kick him in the back, but he kicks him right in the head, and I'm like, that can't be a part of that. That he missed, and he fucking kicked him in the head, and I was like, that's why you're not in TNA, buddy. So yeah, and then the last thing that fucking Party Marty, this guy is just crazy. He just seems really reckless in the ring. So I would not like to see him back in TNA because there's no, he's really reckless in the ring. He just looks like he's ready to hurt somebody. And I think he almost hurt himself at the end where he fucking jumped out of the ring and like landed on the barricade or some shit like that. So, yeah, that guy's crazy. The Blossom Twins, they're just, they're whatever. They're the Bellas 2.0. Next, we got James Storm versus RVD. Pretty good match. Storm wins. Next, we got Robert Roode versus Austin Aries. Pretty good match. No one wins. I don't know why you would have this match. You just made them tag team champs the week before, and then you're going to have them face each other. I mean, I know that they want to conquer TNA and win all the gold, but wouldn't it be smarter if you have, like, Austin Aries taking on James Storm and RVD take on Robert Roode? Like, why would you put them against each other when you're trying to also build them up as a tag team? I get it, it's more Team Hell No stuff, but I didn't like that. I thought they should have taken on, well, the match was pretty good, I'm not going to lie, but I would have preferred for them to wrestle different people. But it ended up making sense because Chavo and Hernandez came out. Whatever. That's my little thing. But I can see why they did it. And in the main event, Hulk Hogan comes out before he can announce who will face Hardy at Lockdown. The Aces and Eights come out, and Bully Ray and Sting make the save. So out of the 8 people that had matches, so it's Magnus Daniels, Joe Angle, James Storm RVD, Robert Roode Aries. So Joe and Angle didn't win their match, so I guess they can't qualify. Roode and Aries didn't win, so they didn't qualify. So it's either going to be Magnus or James Storm pretty much taking on Jeff Hardy at Lockdown. I could definitely see James Storm winning. I would like to see... I was going to say I'd like to see Magnus, but you know what? I'll just stick with James Storm. It's probably going to be James Storm versus Jeff Hardy at Lockdown. And that's alright, I guess. No real complaints from me. Next we got Smackdown. Nothing big really to talk about. You had started with Big Show. Big Show and Jericho kind of got into it, leads to a match later. You had Randy Orton and Mark Henry. They actually had a good match. I enjoyed watching this match. It ends in DQ after Orton is like, I can't beat this guy, let me hit him with a chair. And then again, rematch from fucking last Smackdown. And so Henry wins by DQ, whatever. You had Tamina versus Layla. This was actually a pretty good match as well. Definitely above average for Divas matches. It was actually pretty good. Next we got The Rock comes out, talks about Punk and his match against them. Punk appears and they go back and forth to build their match. Next we got 3MB taking on Brodus Clay and Tenzai. Pretty good match. Tenzai and Brodus win. After the match, the Shield attacks them. The other matches don't really matter. And the main event was Chris Jericho versus Big Show. Good match. Big Show wins. Next we got Ring of Honor. This is what happened last week. So I'm just going to quickly go through it. So it starts out with Matt Taven versus ACH. Pretty good match. Taven wins. They're continuing to do the Top Prospect Tournament. Winner of this will get a TV title match against Adam Cole at the next Ring of Honor pay-per-view, which is coming up. I think it's the first week of March. So we'll be doing predictions for that whenever it's time. And I liked ACH in this match. He did some cool stuff, and definitely like to see more of him. Next we got Nigel McGuinness comes out, brings out Adam Cole and Matt Hardy. He says there's going to be a rematch, but it won't be for the TV title. But if Hardy wins, it will be. He'll get a TV title match, and it ends with a brawl. You know, Matt Hardy accuses Nigel of being jealous of his career and stuff, and that was pretty good segment. Next we got Mischief versus Athena. Pretty good match. Mischief wins. You know, every couple months they do a Women's of Honor match, and it's pretty good. I enjoy watching Mischief. She's definitely a really good women's wrestler. I don't know why she's not been signed by WWE. She has a pretty unique look. You know, she's not like those other divas. She's like Paige, but I'd say a little bit bigger and more experience, of course. So I'd love to see her in WWE. Sign her WWE. Come on. And the main event was the Briscoes teaming up with Coleman Alexander, Cedric Alexander, and Caprice Coleman. Taking on Scum, which was Steve Corino, Jimmy Jacobs, Kevin Steen, and Rhino. This was a pretty good match. Scum wins. And if you don't know how to watch Ring of Honor, what you want to do is you want to go to their website, sign up for an account, sign up for a free account, and you can watch the show every Thursday is when they upload. And you can just go watch a good hour of wrestling. It's definitely worth it, especially for free. Make a free account. Next we got Elimination Chamber. I know it's late, but I haven't seen the pay-per-view yet, so we'll just quickly do this. I'm pretty disappointed that there's only one Elimination Chamber match. They just seem to be cutting down matches. Like a Hell in a Cell, only one Hell in a Cell match, when they could have easily had two. I think it was Sheamus versus Big Show. That could have been a Hell in a Cell match, but they didn't do it. And here you have one Elimination Chamber match when the Shield versus John Cena Sheamus Ryback match could easily be an Elimination Chamber match. You do it like they have it in the video games. I don't know why they put in the video games if they never fucking use it. The 6-man tag Elimination Chamber. They could have used it here, and it's like, oh, that's cool. But, yeah, they didn't decide to do that, so whatever. So first match, Miz versus Antonio Cesaro for the U.S. title. This will be a good match. I'm going to go with Antonio Cesaro in this one. I definitely don't think he's going to be losing to Miz. Next, we got Caitlyn versus Tamina, Divas title match. I'm going with Caitlyn on this one. I think if she's going to lose the Divas title to anybody, it's probably going to be AJ, and that'll probably happen at WrestleMania. Just my prediction. Next, we got the Shield versus John Cena, Sheamus, and Ryback. Definitely got to go with the Cena, Sheamus, Ryback. It's a stacked team, and then you got Cena going to main event WrestleMania, so it'd be kind of dumb for him to lose this. Well, he probably won't get pinned, but it'd be kind of dumb for him to lose this anyways. So I'm gonna go with Cena, Sheamus, and Ryback. So next for the one Elimination Chamber match on the pay-per-view for the #1 contender for the world title. You got Jack Swagger, Mark Henry, Daniel Bryan, Randy Orton, Kane, and Chris Jericho. Like I said earlier, I'm gonna go with Chris Jericho on this, or Jack Swagger on this one. His whole gimmick that he's doing now with the Zeb Coulter thing just makes perfect sense for him to go and face Alberto Del Rio, especially with him being Mexican. So it's gonna be a whole race thing. So that pretty much solves my next match, Alberto Del Rio versus Big Show for the world title. Definitely going to go with Del Rio on this one. And in the main event, CM Punk versus The Rock for the WWE title. Definitely going to have to go with The Rock. I would love to see a three-way between CM Punk, The Rock, and Cena. Like, okay, you have The Rock, or you have Punk, and then Rock, and the referee's knocked out. You have Heyman. You have Heyman interfere, like give the belt to Punk, and then you know, The Rock's getting up before Punk can hit Rock with the title. You have Cena come out, pretty much take the belt away from Punk, and then, you know, Punk turns around, gets hit with a rock bottom, 1, 2, 3, and then you have over the weeks, you have Punk complain, oh, he fucking cost me the match, blah, 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 blah. There's always something, there's always a stipulation. And bam, three-way at WrestleMania. I think that'd be fucking amazing. I hope they do that. I really don't want to see Rock versus Cena Part 2, because they, you know, once in a lifetime. So maybe with this three-way, it's kind of not once in a lifetime anymore. And I just think it'll bring more to the match, having an actual heel in the match. It'll just make for a better match. So I'm gonna go with The Rock on this one, with how I explained it. So. Overall, looks like a decent pay-per-view. Yeah, that's all I can say. There's a couple rematches from Royal Rumble, Del Rio, the World Title match, WWE Title match. I'm not angry about that because the stories have been good. What else? Miz Cesaro's a rematch, and everything else is pretty much new. So that's cool. Can't wait for WrestleMania. I'll be doing how I would book WrestleMania. I wrote out the card. That video should be out sometime this week, hopefully. So. Look forward to that. And last but not least, we have a little bit of wrestling news, literally one thing, and that is TNA has released Rosita. Not really newsworthy whatsoever, because you knew after Sarita was gone that Rosita wasn't far behind, so not really surprising here. I don't expect WWE to pick her up, or Ring of Honor. She might just float around in the indies. That's my prediction. So not a big loss for TNA. The only thing I have to complain about TNA right now, they're bringing in so many wrestlers that they can't even keep up with them. Like, you have Gut Check every month, and you barely use those superstars. The only one that's gotten a decent push is Christian York, and he hasn't been seen in like 3-4 weeks now. And then you know how you have the British Gut Check thing. You got guys from Aces and Eights. There's just talent coming in from all over the place. So I like that, and I don't like that. I like that for the fact that it keeps the product fresh, and I don't like that for the fact that, you know, there's some guys that I think that should be used, and they're not getting used because we got so many fucking people on the roster. So that's my complaint. They should be releasing a little bit more. Stop hiring so many goddamn people. How about that? So that's it for the weekly wrestling review. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Come back next time where we got reviews for Elimination Chamber, Raw, Smackdown, Impact, Ring of Honor, and NXT, along with some wrestling news. Hope you guys enjoyed. Catch us next time. Peace out.